Hello, welcome back. Last time we left off, I do believe we had finished the Freestar Collective, and what a letdown it was. What a letdown. So far, it really feels like every single one of these quests we do has been kind of a letdown. Like, the Crimson Fleet I enjoyed. I enjoyed doing those quests because it was having us do, like, kind of out-of-the-box things. But at the same time, it's also, like, one of the few quest lines that actually has us do anything. Like, what? We did the Helios retreat, I think, last time? Or just before that? It was boring. What? I ran around, found a guy, went back, went to go find a base, found a base. That was it. No confrontation, just talk to a person and then leave. Just miserably boring. And it seems to be that way with everything in this game. This game is just boring. I watched a couple of videos. I watched, like, the first 5 minutes of a Synthetic Man video and immediately turned it off. Man, that guy's a fucking moron. Just dead ass. Synthetic Man is one of the most... I want to say naive, because he's so boiled down into that hard right conservative viewpoint. Wokeism is killing games and shit. There's literally a clip where he's talking to a character. The man mentions me and my husband. He then says gay, exits the conversation, and shoots him in the face. It's like, I mean, that's, like, ironically funny, but it's also like, he didn't do that as a joke. He did that because he doesn't like gay people. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? That was one of the things that made me want to just stop watching, because it's like, he hasn't changed. He hasn't changed at all. I used to watch his videos because I thought he had a point up until he started to, like, bad-mouthing Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, and I'm like, I think you're wrong. And with Starfield as well, he's wrong for all the wrong reasons. Like, he's right, the game sucks. Because he did showcase to me that, yes, just about every goddamn named NPC is essential. I didn't know that. That's crazy. But also, like, in typical Synthetic Man fashion, he outs himself as not really actually playing the game seriously, because he's just speeding through all the dialogue options, he's not asking questions, he's not leveling with the game at all. He's just trying to get through it as fast as possible, so he can churn out a video as quickly as possible, and say that the game sucks, because woke. And that's not really fair. So I stopped watching that video immediately, because I was like, this is a waste of my time. I'm not going to spend an hour watching his fucking garbage. So I went to Downward Thrust. Now, Downward Thrust is... He is a reviewer. And he's kind of a jokey... Not jokey, but, like, he's a little embarrassing, but that's what I like about him. He is honest to a fault sometimes. His videos used to get made fun of a lot, but I think he is greatly improved. And he is a genuinely skilled individual. He plays music, he cooks, he's a great chef, and oddly enough. And he's also just really good at games. Like, watching his gameplay, like, he is fast. He is a Twitch shooter professional fast. Like, he's doing things in this game that I didn't even know you could do. The way at which he's moving. Now, he's clearly playing on PC, but regardless. Like, he's moving fast. And he had a lot of apt comparisons to make when it came to, like, this game and then Cyberpunk. Now, to be fair, Cyberpunk also a historically reviled game, but because it didn't work. I'm assuming now that the game works. And honestly, I might pick it up. I might pick up Cyberpunk because it seems way more interesting than this ever will be. like, he boiled the game down pretty well, and it's a lot of the things that I've been saying. Exploration is dead. There's nothing to go and see because everything's copy and paste, and everything's generic. All of the worlds are barren in a bad way. I was expecting barren planets, but not with nothing on, like literally nothing on them. Space exploration is dead. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything. Fuel costs don't exist, so there's no real challenge to get anywhere. You just click a button. Gameplay sucks, right? And that's something that I've been saying, like, playing on very hard difficulty, the game is not that enjoyable to play. The challenge of getting through a gunfight, yeah, that's the fun part. Dying sucks because I'll die at a certain point and then I have to reload the entire fight. That happened a lot in that Freestar battle. But there was like a challenge and kind of the quote unquote pride and accomplishment of blowing through your enemies in a way. Right? Like the ground battles, at least for me, because my weapons aren't ideal apparently. I'm not using any advanced weapon I can get my hands on, and my rolls have been pretty notoriously bad in terms of getting a weapon that's actually worth a damn. So, I'm just sticking with whatever weapons have nice effects, and also specific weapons. I don't like using the strongest thing in my ability, because it really drags the game down. Honestly, I should just be going through the game with my Hornet's Nest shotgun and calling it a day. Because it nukes everything. There's no contest. But regardless of that, basically ground combat, there's no mechanics. That was something I pointed out too in the start of the game. It was like all of the actual interesting mechanics are locked behind skills. Your fucking sneak button is locked behind a skill. What the fuck? Really? Theft is locked behind a skill. Any speech check is locked behind a skill, but that one's a little more acceptable. Sliding is locked behind a skill, like hovering. Hovering with the jetpack is locked behind, like, rank 3 of the fucking, jetpack boost expert thing, all the way at the bottom of the tech tree, right? It's all the way down here. Boost assault training, and you don't even get the interesting stuff at rank 1. You get this thing. Nearby enemies take damage when you boost. Like, you have to level all the way to rank 4. You would have to get, effectively, 4 levels just to actually get an interesting mechanic in-game. The ship combat. He's said the same thing I said. Hit scan weapons. You get blown away in an instant. Playing on very hard difficulty is nigh on impossible, yet I do it anyway. And it's because you get outnumbered, it's a numbers game, enemy ships on very hard difficulty obviously take more hits, and it's like, yeah, it's just a pain, right? Everything about the Bethesda model is crumbling before our eyes. The game is outdated already. And I couldn't agree more, and that seems to be the common sentiment with everyone, right? I never actually watched any of the videos. I just see the thumbnails and the video titles and blah, blah, blah. And it's exactly what I thought it would be. It is everything I thought it would be. And I'm still eagerly awaiting Patrician TV and Private Sessions videos on Starfield. Though it might be a while for that latter one. We'll see. But it's just the same, like, I know they're going to tear it apart, and they're going to be very honest. Because a lot of people really haven't been. People are trying to be nice to this game, and I'm like, man, I don't think it deserves it. And I'm kind of glad that it's gotten the negative reception that it has, because hopefully that means that we will either see some significant changes in the structure of who is up in Bethesda. Maybe they'll get some new talent in terms of writing and game design, because a lot of, like, they're just making the same mistakes. So many things are just bland and flavorless and lifeless. Like, the character work, it's rough. There's not a whole lot to go off of, right? Like, Sarah Morgan is just the embodiment of the UC. You know what I mean? But she's also the head of Constellation. But we don't really hear an awful lot about that. And even though we are, like, quote-unquote married or whatever, she'll still talk to you like, at certain points in the quest line, she'll still talk to you like you're not even a thing. And it's like, yeah, good job, Bethesda, for maintaining that narrative. Yeah, great work. It's just such a sloppy experience. Sam Coe, when you really boil it down, is there even anything to his character aside from he's a dad? Not really. Sure, he's had a troubled past, but it never comes up. The only time we ever really hear anything about it is when the Freestars yell at him because he left the Rangers to join Constellation. It's like, that's a conflict, sure, but nothing ever comes of it. Nothing ever comes of these things. Or, what's Andreja? I used to be House Varun, blah, blah, blah. Nothing ever really comes of it. Barrett's just nothing. Barrett's just a clown. Barrett has literally got nothing to him. He's so boring. I wish there was more to him, I do. And I understand, right, like, oh, yeah, you know, husband died, whatever. I don't even care. I don't know anything about you outside of that. That is his character. And that's kind of the problem, right? We can ask all sorts of, not even all sorts of, we can ask a very limited amount of personal questions to them, and that's it. And the other problem is they're the only characters. Now, to be fair, all of the other named companions do have things you can ask them. I just fucking haven't. I just haven't even bothered outside of whatever the Polish guy was. The Chris Pratt knockoff that you find in the viewport. That's the only guy I talked to. And that was it. I haven't had a conversation with anyone else. And it's just so boring. Like, I do wish there was more to the game. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, this game is a disappointment. Just flat out. The game is not what people... And I'm saying people. This game is exactly what I expected it to be. But this game is not what people expected it to be. And I'm kind of glad people are seeing that and saying it and doing something about it by just not fucking playing it. Like, I keep saying, you know, I want to do a second playthrough of this game. Or more or less a New Game Plus playthrough. I want to see everything there is to see narratively. But for once, right? Because, like, whenever I play Elder Scrolls or Fallout or whatever, I am scrounging the map. I am searching every corner, finding every secret. You know what I mean? I did that with ESO, at least for, like, the first 3 years, right? Up until Elsewhere, right? Scoured all of Somerset, scoured all of Morrowind, scoured all the base game. You know what I mean? I was in and out of that place. You could ask me a question, I could tell you the answer. Same thing with Skyrim, same thing with Oblivion. Not so much with Morrowind. But, you know, Fallout 4, I could do that. Fallout 3 and New Vegas, not so much, but I could give you a lot of information about New Vegas despite not actually having played it. That is something I do need to do. I need to go and play 3 in Vegas at some point. 76, I couldn't tell you a whole lot about that. I played it a bunch. I've just never actually explored the whole map, and that is something I do want to do. But with this game, I do not feel the urge to go to every planet. Why the fuck should I? There's nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, at least in 76, if for comparison, it's a handcrafted world. So you're always going to find something placed there intentionally by someone else. And you'll see a story that is trying to be told, or an event that may have happened, or just some vista that you were intended to see. And with this, there's nothing. Not even a box of loot to look through. Or maybe there is a box of loot to look through, but there's nothing worth picking up. You know? It's just really bad. Just awful, really. And that's the thing. I think once I finish this playthrough, hell, maybe even the second, I don't know, it might even just be this one, I don't really feel a desire to continue playing this. At least until the mods come out for console. If they even fucking do. But, like, the desire to play it is, like, dead for me already. That's kind of why I'm like, I don't even know, because the galaxy is also so big, I wouldn't even know where to go to look for most of the side quests, so I would probably just have to look up a guide and then hit them like a fucking checklist. Which sucks, but it's because I know there's nothing on most of these planets. There's only certain things hidden out in the galaxy that I'd have to explicitly go and find. That's it. And, like, that's fucking boring. But that's what I'd have to do. So, I think definitely, once I finish this, probably gonna go back to Skyrim. Probably gonna go back to Skyrim and actually start that playthrough up again. And I might need to dig through my old writings that I have so I can remember where, how, and why things happen in the story so that I could actually create a relatively cohesive narrative about what, what's going on in the modded playthrough. But I think before I would even do that, I just want to do a fresh, vanilla Skyrim run. So we could actually get the story of the Dragonborn first, beforehand, before we do anything else. That way, things kind of feel natural, so that the modded storyline doesn't just come out of nowhere. I think I would definitely... And then, of course, the creation content as well. That's another thing that I haven't really done. I've done sprinkles of it here and there, but I would definitely like to actually do the Creation Club content properly. Because I don't even think... Most people don't even showcase that shit. And I kind of want to show people what it looks like. What is it like? How does it function, But, because I have more of an interest in doing that than I do with this game. Hell, I would love to go back and do ESO from the beginning. I'd much rather do that than play this game. That's not good. That shouldn't be the case, but sadly it is, so. Alright. I think that's enough ranting about the game.